If you're anything like me or one of my students, you've probably entered into Google how to write an essay in 1 hour. Why am I so anxious? And who can forget how to stop panicking? Oh God, oh God, oh God. This is very common and many writers even suffer from writer's block. This is just one of many problems that writers face and students as well. But how do you actually overcome those problems? That is the question I'm going to attempt to answer in this video. I'm going to structure this video based on how to overcome 5 of those problems. They are lack of confidence, insufficient knowledge, lack of writing skills, plagiarism, and just getting stuck. But to answer those questions, I have to paint you a picture of who I was before I learned how to overcome those problems. Cast your mind back to 2010. It was a much simpler time where we had dubstep, black ops, we had memes like this, and these guys were still popular as well. Now, picture me. I was a young 16-year-old with long curly hair, a bit like this dude, and I wasn't the best at writing essays. I didn't know where to begin. I was too busy listening to LMFAO, I was too busy playing Black Ops, and I didn't put enough time and effort into my essays. Because of all of these things, I was stressed, tired, and lacked motivation to actually do my essays. But this is also where I started to learn how to overcome my problems. One day I was really frustrated with myself because I kept on leaving my essays to the very last minute. So for whatever reason, I decided to take out my laptop and write down everything that stressed me out about essays. It was bizarre because after I wrote down the words and I saw them in front of me, I didn't feel as stressed. That lasted for about a week. That's when I realized that writing down everything that stressed me out about essays was not going to be enough. I needed to put time into learning how to overcome those problems. Over the next 3 years, I got better and better at writing essays, and I finally graduated from high school. I then studied English for 4 years in college and did a further 2 years in university. And over these years, I've come across and made up some of my own techniques that I've used to overcome these problems. I'll make a video on all of these techniques here, but for now, this is a pretty fast and dense overview. So if you'd like to see those videos, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. This is just what's worked for me, so take the good stuff and leave the bad stuff, and let's go. The 5 essay writing problems students deal with and how to overcome them. First one is a lack of confidence. Students who think they're not good at writing will have trouble starting and finishing their papers. With this level of self-doubt, they might not even bother to start working on their paper. As a result of this, students often hand up a poorly written assignment or not even bothering to hand up one at all. They fully accept from the very beginning that they're going to get a low grade. How I overcame this. I started to practice daily. As Bruce Lee once said, after a long time of practicing, our work will become natural, skillful, swift, and steady. I picked different topics every day, and even if I made mistakes, it was okay. As long as my mistakes were corrected, I knew that I could improve. If I was unsure how to start the essay, I would ask my teachers, my parents, or somebody that was more knowledgeable about essay writing. Don't be afraid to ask them for help. Number 2 is insufficient knowledge. After I fixed my confidence issue, I realized that I had another issue. That was, I didn't know a lot about a wide range of topics. I used to have very little knowledge on anything that wasn't related to Black Ops, sports, TV, etc. My teacher would give me a topic like the advantages and disadvantages of animal testing. I was straight up blank at this topic because I didn't have any idea about animal testing. Many students face this problem. They get a topic in school and they do not know where to begin because they simply do not have enough knowledge on the subject matter. How I overcame this. This is a problem that students can easily crush. Students need to put extra time into researching the topic and make sure to write down notes into their copies to be stored for later. Students simply need to put extra research into the topic and jot down any notes that they find. Luckily with the internet, this is as easy as ever to do. If you're really having a hard time to understand it, just go to your teacher and ask them. Number 3, lack of writing skills. So now I knew how to research topics, get good ideas, and I had a lot more confidence in writing my essays. But something still felt a little bit illogical and something just didn't feel right about my actual essay. I realized that I didn't actually work on my writing skills yet. Using wrong words, misleading language, misplacing words, and punctuation will all lead to you getting a poor result in your essay. I was trying really hard to please my teacher, and I was using jargon and technical words that just completely backfired on me. How I overcame this. I began to use simple words that made sense to me, and also I shortened my sentences to make them more concise. This is how I improved my writing style. I also started to read more because this will definitely help you to become a better writer, as you're analysing different authors and their styles. Number 4, plagiarism. Never actually plagiarized anything, but I would like to talk about this briefly. Back then in 2010, where they were still using these things in the classroom and not computers, they could still spot plagiarism from a mile away. Teachers today have access to plagiarism software, as if you didn't know already. But please do not plagiarize, as if you get caught, you will be in a lot of trouble. How to overcome this? The first thing you need to do is learn how to paraphrase for your essays. The second thing is you need to learn how to reference. I'll be making more detailed videos on paraphrasing and referencing in the future, so please subscribe if you do not want to miss it. Another tip is to run your papers through an online plagiarism tool. They're free, just Google it. And this is something that I always do, or used to do when I was in university and needed to check my papers. Getting stuck. I've pretty much mastered all of the techniques that we've talked about in today's video, but I still get stuck myself from time to time, and there's no way I can explain why. How I overcame this. Whenever I feel stuck with an essay or a topic, I just like to take a break. Go for a walk, talk to a friend, play some video games, do whatever you like to do to relax. Number 2, always start your essay early. Never leave it a week. Okay, so if your teacher gives you an essay, start the essay the same day. This will help you to avoid forcing ideas into your essay, because if you left your essay until the very last day, you will have to force those ideas onto the paper. So do not leave it until the pressure of the deadline to start writing your paper. Another way of dealing with being stuck is to talk to a parent, a friend, or maybe your teacher about the topic. They can give you some ideas. The last thing I want to say is have patience, always reread and rewrite your draft, proofread it before handing it up to your teacher. I really hope that this video has helped you. Let me know what you thought, subscribe if you are new. Other than that, have a fantastic day and slán.